Hello everyone. Okay, so today we are not going to discuss any book. Rather than that, we are going to discuss this magazine, The Economist, which was published on 11th of January 2025. Yeah, I know it is now a bit late regarding this particular publication, but there was so much in this publication, and this magazine is issued every week. Okay, so it's quite a hack to catch up on all the articles that have been written in the Economist latest issues and all. But I recently finally got the time to complete this particular publication, so I thought why not discuss it with you all, because this is the first time I read a magazine like this one. Okay, so first we are going to discuss this magazine's overall structure. Okay, so how the contents, the text, and the topics are structured. What is the overall outline of this magazine? Okay, basically gives you the highlights of the global politics, the global finance, and the business aspects of that particular week. Okay, at the first page, after the content section, this magazine gives a highlight of the world news regarding politics, and the second page is about what has happened on the business landscape in that particular week. Okay, and after than that, in this particular magazine, in this particular publication, I don't know about the other publications of this one, that there is a special report that has been published in this magazine, and I think I'm assuming at this point, before reading any of the other publications, that this might be the same pattern that is going to repeat in the Economist publications, that there is a particular special report about anything specific. Okay, so for this publication, it was Africa needs a capitalist revolution. Okay, a special report on that, and we are going to skim through this. After the World This Week business page, on which there are just the highlights of the week, that what happened on the worldwide global level of the business, like some of the big chip companies, what were the acquisitions, or what were the mergers, demergers, and stuff like that. The first two pages are the world this week in terms of news and politics, and the second one is the world this week in terms of business. After that, basically what happens is that this magazine discusses each and every region of the world and their highlights. Okay, so for example, there is a Asia section. Okay, there is United States section, there is United Kingdom, Britain section. After that, there is Africa section. There is not basically Africa, it's Middle East and Africa. Okay, and Australia, Asia, these kind of. And then what are the highlights of that particular region for that week? It discusses all those topics. Okay, and later on, there are similar kind of subjects discuss many multiple publications and articles written by the Economist author in detail about business, in the world of business overall, in the global business landscape. After that, there is finance and economy. After that, there is culture. After that, there is science and technology. This is the overall structure of this magazine. And one thing which I particularly liked about this magazine is that there is let me show you, there is a letters section. There is one page that is particularly referred, is basically assigned to the readers letters that the Economist receives in regards to the articles that were published in previous week. Okay, So there are many readers who basically submitted their responses. So there are some job ads in between for people regarding finance, regarding treasury, regarding business, and all. There is one thing that I have noticed while reading through all of this magazine is that, I was trying to guess that on what side of the political spectrum this magazine is going to fall, is falling in its opinions. If you read the editorial policy of The Economist on their website, they say that we are unbiased and neutral and so on and so forth, what all the magazines, they would like to claim about themselves. There was one particular thing I found on the Economist website regarding their editorial policy, is that they proudly admitted basically that they are, what was that particular term they used, that they are inspired by classical liberalism. Okay, but apart from that, they also mentioned that all of their articles are fact checked and all, what and the things that we are going to expect as readers who are going to pay for this magazine. Okay, so I have found a hint and an inclination of, you can say, progressive mindset and a kind of a liberal mindset, a kind of a left perspective, or more favorable toward the left side of the political spectrum, and more critical of the conservative side of the political spectrum. Okay, so if I may read any other publications of The Economist in the future, my opinion may tend to change on the basis of that. Okay, so I was wrong at this point, and they tend to criticize both of them provided what they consider right. Okay, but so far in all of the articles that I've read in this particular publication, there is an inclination towards left and liberalism and progressiveness, and anything, all kind of things that are opposite of conservatism and right-wing politics and all, etc. So that was the whole structure of this magazine, and there are just some of the basic indicators that have been mentioned about some of the world's most important countries. Okay, so these are basically regarding that particular week of publication, the economic and financial indicators about all of the countries, what is happening in some of the more significant countries is markets. And by whenever I mention the word significant, I mean the first world countries first, and later on, if the space is available, then the third world countries, the first world, the MENA region, and then the third world. Okay, so that's how the arrangement is. But this is quite common in such publications. And after that, there is a markets section at the bottom of the last page of this magazine, and the commodities section, the currency exchange section, and all of that. What would you expect from such magazine? At the last page of this magazine, there is an obituary section. Okay, and about this particular obituary, this is about a Chinese writer. I'm not going to pronounce the name because it's going to be incorrect, so I'm not going to try either. So there is a best-selling romantic novelist in the Chinese-speaking world died on December the 4th, aged 86. As a person who liked to study in detail, as a student of history, global politics, geopolitics, military, defense, and finance, especially, this magazine was quite helpful, and I find it quite informative and worth it, to be honest, about whether to purchase it. I purchased it for approximately 2,200 Pakistani rupees. Okay, and yeah, it was worth it, and it taught me a lot about various subjects that we are going to discuss now.